If you're a Chargers fan, you need to watch this report until the end. The Los Angeles Chargers training camp has become the scene of a true strategic upheaval. Impactful decisions are being made, and key players are seeing their positions threatened. In this video, you'll discover all the behind-the-scenes details behind Zion Johnson's drop from the starting lineup, the new offensive line formation with a multi-million-dollar contract, and, to top it all off, a surprising move behind the scenes in the NFL involving our quarterback, which could change the team's course before the season starts. Stay with me until the end, because every piece of this story is connected and could be a game changer for the Chargers in 2025. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all the latest news about our favorite team. The atmosphere at the Los Angeles Chargers training camp has heated up, and the name on everyone's lips is Zion Johnson. A first-round pick in the 2022 draft, Johnson had everything it took to be a pillar of the offensive line for years to come. But today, he's increasingly distant from the first team, and the situation worsens with each practice. During the last session, everyone's eyes were drawn to a scene that's hard to ignore. Johnson was completely removed from first-team practice and started practicing only with the reserves, more precisely as the second-team center. The coaching staff's message is as clear as ever. Patience with Johnson is wearing thin. He no longer has the team's trust to play guard, and with competition heating up at center, even his spot isn't guaranteed there. Meanwhile, Jamari Salyer, who has been consistently praised by the coaches, has taken over the starting interior role, completely sidelining Johnson. Not to mention the growing threat of Andre James, another name starting to gain traction in center practice. The warning bell is ringing. The Chargers will no longer give him cap space based on draft history. Johnson will need to prove his worth on the field, snap by snap, or risk being benched for the entire season of his contract. That's right, 2025 could be the year a first-round pick becomes a fixture on the main roster. Johnson's experiment at center could be the last straw before an even more drastic change. And most worryingly, if Johnson doesn't win the battle at center, he may simply be left without a role in the offensive scheme, a scenario unthinkable months ago, but one that now seems increasingly likely. Now with the offensive line beginning to take shape, Johnson's situation only gets more complicated. But who are the names manning the line? Get ready, because the next chapter of this story is even more intense. While Zion Johnson loses ground with each practice, other players are beginning to shine in the training camp spotlight, and rightfully so. Coach Jim Harbaugh isn't mincing words or actions. He's made it clear from day one that strengthening the Chargers' offensive line is his top priority. And this offseason's moves only reinforce this aggressive and focused mentality. The biggest bombshell of the week was undoubtedly the contract extension of Rashawn Slater, who is now officially the highest-paid offensive lineman in the entire NFL. A multi-million-dollar contract that not only shook up the backroom staff, but also solidified the franchise's seriousness in building a wall against Justin Herbert. This strategic move shows that Harbaugh is building his team from the trenches, as the elite football playbook dictates. And the new offensive line configuration, revealed by Daniel Popper of The Athletic, is eye-opening for any fan. According to Popper, the main lineup that took the field in practice this week featured Rashawn Slater at left tackle, Jamari Salyer at left guard, Bradley Bozeman at center protection, Mekhi Becton at right guard, and the highly hyped rookie Joe Alt closing the line at right tackle. It's a physical, athletic, and aggressive unit, exactly the way Harbaugh likes it. The addition of Becton, who came as a significant addition in free agency, leaves no doubt that the goal is one: to give Justin Herbert the time he needs in the pocket to distribute the play safely. Even with Slater still being held back from practice, everything indicates that this will be the starting lineup at the start of the season, barring any last-minute surprises. The wheels are turning and the chemistry is building rapidly. Meanwhile, Zion Johnson remains in a delicate situation. He continues to play exclusively with the second unit and only as a center. The coaching staff was clear. There will be no more tryouts at guard, and the team has already decided which players it wants on the field with the first team. Johnson's margin for error is practically zero. But if you thought this was the biggest twist of the training camp, get ready. Because while the offensive line is being defined, a new and intriguing question is beginning to gain traction behind the scenes, and it directly involves the Chargers quarterback's future. What comes next could shake up the entire season plan. With the offensive line practically set and Justin Herbert's protection being treated as a top priority, a new movement is beginning to gain momentum behind the scenes at the Los Angeles Chargers, and it doesn't involve the line, but rather who might be on the way out. We're talking about Taylor Heineka, the veteran backup quarterback who, despite being out of the spotlight, could be on the verge of a trade that promises to shake up the NFL landscape before the season even starts. Heineka, known for his ability to step in and keep the offense running in emergency situations, has once again been highlighted by analysts. And this time, the movement isn't on the field, but in the transfer market. Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report was emphatic. Taylor Heineka is one of the quarterbacks who should be immediately considered for a possible trade. The reason is simple. There are franchises desperate for stability at the quarterback position, and Heineka could be exactly the reliable bridge these teams are looking for. Among the possible destinations, two names are gaining momentum: the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. Both are facing serious difficulties in finding a reliable solution under center. The Saints, for example, currently have a quarterback group full of youth, but with little to no real playing experience. Spencer Rattler, Jake Haener, rookie Tyler Show, and Hunter Deckers are promising names, but still far from inspiring immediate confidence. The group, combined, played less than 500 snaps last season, a number that scares any fan dreaming of the playoffs. On the other side, the Colts are in an equally unstable situation. Anthony Richardson is still finding his rhythm after recovering from his shoulder injury, and Daniel Jones, a newcomer, is trying to adapt to the new offensive system. Both have faced visible difficulties in training camp. Heineka, with his 39 career touchdowns and 29 interceptions, as well as several games where he took over under pressure, emerges as a solid solution to bring stability and experience. But it's not all that simple. The Chargers are in no rush to part with Heineka. Despite being a backup, he's considered a valuable asset to the roster, a quality insurance policy in case Herbert needs to miss even a game or two. In a season full of changes and expectations, Harbaugh wants to ensure the team has depth at every position. Heineka, therefore, will only leave Los Angeles if the offer is truly compelling. And if that happens, all eyes are on a name that has been quietly rising behind the scenes: Trey Lance. The former 49ers player is still looking for a fresh start and, according to insiders, could be the front office's backup quarterback role if Heineka leaves. Lance is young, athletic, and while he hasn't yet shown consistency, he can be molded under the guidance of Greg Roman and Harbaugh, two experts in developing talent at the position. All of this reinforces one certainty: the Chargers' backroom is on fire. The competition for roster spots is fiercer than ever. Contracts are being renewed for huge sums, and the trade market can cause the team to change drastically from one week to the next. For those who thought the excitement would only begin in week 1 of the regular season, surprise, the game has already begun, and it's being played off camera. If you're part of Chargers Nation, now is the time to be more tuned than ever, because the decisions being made now could be what defines the success of the 2025 season. And here on the channel, you won't miss a thing. So, subscribe, activate the bell, share with your fellow fans, and get ready, because the excitement is just beginning.